The coming-of-age film has become a common element of telling stories about youngsters, but there's a reason filmmakers keep making them. They allow us to see the lives of characters that can maybe make us reflect back on our own past. Sean Wang's feature directing debut Didi clearly has biographical elements in the story, and through that he explores both life for a teenager in 2008 and the parts that we look back on and wins. It's not afraid to show the immaturity of being that age and problems that can arise from this, but that allows Wang to pull the audience into the story of his lead protagonist, Chris. Through his main character, Wang depicts a young teenager who just wants to hang out with friends and watch YouTube. He captures the feel of the 2000s through Chris's interactions with the internet and when he's with his chums and the antics they get into together. He worries about things anyone his age would be concerned about, and we see how they go too far with their actions and comments. It's clear that Wang is not interested in filtering these memories to make Chris seem more likable. His flaws end up a significant part of his character and thus make him more interesting. His relationships with other characters become major aspects of the plot that drive his decision-making. We get the familiar scenarios like him wanting to ask out a girl he's attracted to and his sibling rivalry with his older sister, but Wang goes to new places with these. There's humor out of how he tries to portray himself as smarter, more aware of popular culture than he is to impress this girl. And while we do see a lot of the fighting typical in sibling relationships in films, where their arc goes is something a little different. Same goes for Chris's various friendships. A particularly interesting development is with some skateboarders he meets and promises to film. There's an expectation it might go a certain way, but the movie instead surprises, and it's refreshing to see these sorts of characters depicted in this way. The humor also works very well, particularly with Chris's grandmother. Chang Li-hua, Sean Wang's own grandmother, who he previously filmed for his documentary Nai Nai and Waipo, provides some of the funniest lines in the movie as she reacts to what goes on in the house. Meanwhile, Joan Chen delivers a heartbreaking performance as the mother trying to understand her son's unusual behavior. It's great we've been getting so many films lately inspired by the director's personal stories. They are often intriguing and have a certain relatability to them, particularly the way in which they depict the difficulties of teenage life. There are several times when we look back in disbelief at our attitude years ago, and Didi does capture that. Chris is depicted as immature and frequently making bad decisions, but there's still an optimistic hope that these will go away the older he gets, and that he will then look back at these moments in his life with embarrassment. Or maybe he'll become a filmmaker and reenact them for the world. As unusual as it is that we're now getting period pieces set in 2008, Didi uses the era well to explore the characters and the troubles they go through in their day-to-day decisions.